Hi there, homeowners. Today we're going to be talking about your mortgage refinance process. So join me. My name is Michelle Benjamin, and I'm a realtor for KW McKinney and your North Texas Homecupid. Today, I'm just going to touch on some of the basics of refinancing your home. But let's start with a disclaimer. My channel is not a replacement for home ownership classes, contacting your professionals on anything related to your house, or contacting your first responders in case of emergency. We're just here sharing information with each other and making this home ownership journey the best it can possibly be. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about some refinancing basics. When rates are low, it can seem like the perfect time to refinance your home, right? I mean, who wouldn't want lower interest rates? There are lots of great reasons to refinance your home, such as adding on to your home or streamlining your expenses. But what's really involved with this process? The best news is that it's not nearly as hard to refinance as it was to get the original loan. Let's take a big sigh of relief together. Woosah. Many homeowners have their own specific reasons for refinancing, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. What we are going to talk about, however, is the refinance process, some documents that you might need, and how to close this process out. So let's start with the process. Much like your first loan, your mortgage broker is going to take a look at your financial and work history to make sure that you are financially stable. Your debt to income ratio will also be heavily scrutinized. However, they will give you a little bit more wiggle room than they did with the initial loan, especially if you already have a lot of homeowner equity in your house. Once you're approved for your loan, you will choose when to lock in your rate because rates vary from day to day. It's important to pay close attention to the current rate as well as your lender's advice. You have the option to lock it in right away or let it float a little while until you get the rate that you want and then lock it in. However, remember that this is a bet that you are taking and it might not always work out in your favor. Very similar to your initial loan, you're going to have to prove to your lender you are who you say you are. So here are some documents that you want to bring to your appointment. Proof of income. Tax statements and tax stubs are big favorites for proof of income. If you own a small business, you may also be asked for a profit and loss statement. So get to work on preparing that right now. Credit score. Your lender will run your credit and the credit of any co-applicants in order to determine if you remain credit worthy. But don't worry, they can't revoke your current mortgage if things have gotten a little rocky in that department. They just won't write you a new loan. Pulling a credit report can also inform your lender about your current debts. Your asset information. If you have a retirement account like a 401k, stocks, bonds, or even a checking or savings account, your lender will want to know. These accounts plus the equity you have in your home and other assets figure into the equation when lenders are trying to assess your risk of default. They can also serve as sources of collateral should you need it. Other legal paperwork. Divorce, decrees, and support payment documentation are helpful for your lender to determine what liabilities you have, if any, in relation to those former legal relationships. If you receive support, it can sometimes be figured into your income calculation. Once your lender has reviewed your paperwork and everything's on the up and up, they will then require an appraisal on your home. Typically, a full inspection won't be needed again, but a drive-by appraisal will be just as sufficient. Now, onto closing that loan. With all your paperwork and the appraisal, now your lender is ready to send you and your loan to closing. Since this time there's not a seller involved, you get to decide what day your closing is going to be. And it will be a much quicker process this time around. Make sure that you double check all the terms of your loan so that you know what you are signing up for. However, if you still have questions, make sure to ask your lender to clarify them before signing on that dotted line. After your closing day, there is a time period which you can change your mind and revoke the loan altogether. Thanks to your rights of rescission, you can cancel your loan with no penalties or modifications to your previous loan within 3 days of closing your refinance loan. So if you wake up the next day with buyer's remorse, you can change your mind. Okay, that's all I have for today. If you need help finding a lender, shoot me a private message or an email and we'll get that worked out for you. I hope this information was very beneficial to you, current homeowners, or enlightening for my future homeowners. If you have any additional general questions, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel. That way you know when new videos are posted. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.